Hey fam, welcome back to Paper Highlighter, your front row seat to the messiest, juiciest, and sometimes even heartbreaking reality TV gossip. Buckle up because today's lineup is wild. First up, Season 2 of Hunt for Love hasn't even dropped yet, and already the cast list just leaked, and guess what? Angela, Big Ed, and Gino are back. Plus, Pedro, Paul, and even Larissa. Yep, TLC's recycling its most controversial stars, and fans are freaking out. Meanwhile, Jennifer Tarazona couldn't handle the heat at the reunion. Tim exposed our alleged secret hookup with Rob, and Jen stormed off the stage with an F-bomb heard round the fandom. Fans are calling it classic Jen behavior, but this time, Tim might have outplayed her. But not all the headlines are messy. Greg Chillak just revealed the devastating loss of his father. The fan favorite shared a heartfelt post, and castmates from Sumit to Jenny poured out their condolences. We'll share how Greg is honoring his dad's memory. And from heartbreak to hard pivots, Darcey Silva says she's done with endless surgeries. After years of dramatic transformations, she's planning a make-under, even downsizing her infamous bust. Could this be the most shocking Darcey reveal yet? Also tonight, Chantel Everett is not staying silent. She's clapping back at Carlo for those cruel texts about Tiffany and Elise. And she's spilling even more tea that left fans floored. Trust me, the tell-all got ugly. And finally, Sophie Sierra's relationship status bombshell. She admits she's in love again, and rumor has it her new flame might just be Pedro Jimeno. Yes, that Pedro. The speculation is on fire. So hit that like button, smash subscribe, ring the bell, and drop your hottest takes in the comments because this ride is about to get bumpy. Let's dive into our first headline. Stop what you're doing because the Hunt for Love Season 2 cast list just leaked, and it's like TLC threw gasoline on the fire and lit a match. That's right, the network's not wasting a second after the chaos of Season 1, and insiders are already whispering the jaw-dropping names coming back for Round 2. If you thought Season 1 was messy, oh honey, this cast is pure TNT. Okay, let's break this down. 90 Day Fiance Hunt for Love was supposed to be the spicy little spin-off where familiar faces get one more shot at romance, all while trapped in a resort setting tailor-made for sparks, shade, and total chaos. Well, Season 1 delivered exactly that, and now insiders say Season 2 is going even bigger. And who's headlining this fresh batch of drama? None other than TLC's infamous comeback crew, Angela Deem, Big Ed Brown, and Gino Palazzolo. Yep, the so-called holy trinity of repeat offenders is allegedly topping the cast list. These are the people viewers love to hate, and according to leaks, TLC's basically turned them into their retirement plan. Every time they flame out of one season, boom, they're back on another. But hold on, because the leaks don't stop there. Pedro Jimeno, yes, Chantel's ex, the man behind one of the most bitter divorces in franchise history, may also be checking into the resort. Pair that with Paul Staley, whose name alone brings enough baggage to sink the whole island, and you've got drama squared. Imagine Pedro trying to charm someone new while half the women in the cast are side-eyeing him about Chantel. And just when you thought TLC was only stacking it with chaos agents, the list adds a sprinkle of wholesome. Tyree Mullet. Fans fell in love with Tyree's sweet but heartbreaking story, and apparently TLC thinks tossing him into this lion's den could balance out all the toxicity. Will he find true love or just get trampled in the crossfire? Now let's talk about the women. Nicole Nofstiger, Olga Koshumbatova, and Sophie Sierra are all rumored to be packing their bags. Each of them is freshly single after failed relationships with Azan, Steven, and Sophie. The idea of Sophie and Rob possibly ending up in the same villa again? Producers must be rubbing their hands together like cartoon villains. But it doesn't end there. The bombshell names include Danielle Jabali, Anfisa Arkapenko, and Larissa de Santos Lima. Yes, Larissa. Fans already made memes saying, if Colt did Season 1, Larissa had to show up for Season 2, and apparently TLC listened. That alone is enough to send Reddit into meltdown mode. The vibe is crystal clear.
This is an Avengers-style team-up, except instead of saving the world, it's about saving TLC's ratings with the most combustible mix of personalities possible. The insider who leaked the name says contracts aren't finalized yet, but the word is strong that most of these stars are already on board. And honestly, if even half of this cast shows up, Season 2 might make the original look like child's play. Picture Angela screaming at Pedro while Gino hides under his hat, Larissa rolling her eyes, and Tyree nervously smiling through the chaos. Yup, that's your next binge. And fans are already sharpening their pitchforks online, saying TLC has officially moved from reality show to social experiment gone wrong.
Stick around, because if you thought this leak was messy, wait until you see what went down at the tell-all. Jennifer Tarazona literally ripped off her mic and stormed out after Tim dropped a bomb about her hookup with Rob. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Let's set the stage. We're at the Hunt for Love tell-all. Everybody's dressed, seated, and ready to rehash months of messy behavior. Jennifer Tarazona already had a reputation this season for dodging questions, stirring rumors, and painting herself as the victim. But this time, the tables turned, thanks to none other than Tim Malcolm. For weeks, Jen had been shading Tim's sexuality, hinting he wasn't man enough, and fans were tired of the digs. Well, Tim decided to clap back in the most savage way possible by exposing Jen's alleged hookup with none other than Rob Warren. Yep, the same Rob she swore she'd left behind when she chose Cole at the end of the season. Cue gasps from the audience, cut away to Suki's stunned face, and a very awkward silence from Cole. Tim pressed, asking Cole point blank, did Jen ever mention her time with Rob at the resort? Cole sat frozen. Fans say he looked like he'd seen a ghost, while Jen scrambled to dodge the question. She accused Tim of spreading rumors, then deflected by claiming Tim and Tiffany had their own shady bedroom antics. Tiffany, stone-faced, shut it down immediately, telling Jen to stop dodging and answer the actual question. Meanwhile, Rob, yes, the man at the center of the allegation, was visibly nervous, laughing awkwardly, even shaking, according to eyewitnesses. That's only fueled the fire. Jennifer tried spinning, claiming production was out to get her, but no one was buying it. The tension was boiling, the cast whispering, the producers probably salivating, and then boom. Jennifer ripped off her mic, shouted, "Fuck everybody here," and stormed off the set. Fans online immediately dubbed it classic Jen behavior, unable to take the heat when the spotlight turns on her. GIFs of her dramatic exit are already circulating on Twitter. TikTok edits are flying, and Reddit threads are on fire, dissecting every second of the exchange. What's worse? Insiders say producers had receipts ready to roll. The clip of Jen and Rob's late-night rendezvous was allegedly about to air on the big screen, which explains why she bolted. It wasn't just embarrassment, it was damage control. Fans now think Jen knew she was seconds away from being exposed in 4K. The fallout didn't stop there. Social media comments slammed her for playing Cole, for trash-talking Tim, and for pretending to be above the mess while secretly diving headfirst into it. One fan wrote, quote, "Jen's brand is lying until the tape plays, then running." Another said, "Tim finally got his revenge and it was glorious."
Keep it locked, because we're shifting gears from scandal to heartbreak. Up next, Chillak shares devastating news about his father's passing, and his emotional tribute has the fandom rallying around him in a whole new way. Greg may be one of the newer faces in the franchise, but his genuine story and close family ties made him an instant fan favorite. Now, viewers are learning just how much he's hurting and how deeply his castmates are showing their support. Chillak, who we met during 90 Day Fiance Season 11, built his storyline around his sweet, heartfelt relationship with Joan. Fans connected with his honesty, his mom's warmth, and the tight bond he shared with his dad, George Alexander Chillak. Sadly, Greg took to Instagram this week to share devastating news. His father has passed away. Greg's caption was raw and emotional, calling his father his hero and thanking him for always supporting his journey. He wrote about the values his dad instilled in him: loyalty, faith, and resilience, and fans flooded the comments with condolences. One message read, "Your dad raised a good man, Greg. He'd be so proud of you." Another wrote simply, "Sending love and prayers to your family." But this wasn't just a quiet Instagram post. Greg shared details of the funeral arrangements, opening the door for fans and friends to honor his father's memory. The visitation is set at Albrecht Bruno and O'Shea funeral homes, followed by a mass at St. Peter the Apostle Church on September 3rd. His father's final resting place will be Long Island National Cemetery, giving a sense of just how deeply rooted this family is in their community. What struck viewers most was how quickly castmates stepped in with their support. Sarper gushed, "OMG, I'm so sorry to hear that, brother." Stevie echoed, "We're thinking of you and your family." Even veteran couples like Sumit and Ginny dropped heartfelt comments, showing that behind all the drama, this community knows how to rally around one of their own when real life takes center stage. And let's not forget Greg's season 11 storyline. Fans remember how often he spoke about his dad's guidance and how proud he was of Greg's choices. Viewers said it made the loss even more poignant because audiences felt like they knew George through the show. Reddit threads lit up with fans expressing shock, saying the news hit harder than expected. One user posted, "Greg and Joan were such a breath of fresh air in season 11. Seeing him go through this makes me want to hug my own dad tighter tonight." Another fan pointed out that the timing, just as Greg seemed to be finding happiness, made the loss even sadder. It's also a reminder that behind the reality TV chaos, these are real people facing real-life struggles. For Greg, it's not about ratings or camera time. It's about grieving a father who shaped his life in countless ways. And the way he's chosen to share it so openly shows just how much he values the fans who've supported him from the beginning.
Don't touch that dial, because from heartbreak, we pivot to a shocker of a different kind. Darcey Silva is ditching the glam and heading for a full-on make-under. Yes, you heard that right. The queen of plastic surgery says she's ready to embrace a simpler look. From brow lifts to boob jobs, Darcey's cosmetic journey has been practically a reality show of its own. But now, at 50, she says she's ready to embrace simplicity. Fans aren't sure whether to believe her or brace for the next transformation. Let's rewind for a second. Darcey Silva burst onto our screens in Before the 90 Days with her much younger Dutch boyfriend, rocking a relatively natural look compared to what we've seen in recent years. Fast forward through a laundry list of procedures: nose jobs, cheek lifts, jawline sculpting, breast augmentations, liposuction, even the notorious J plasma treatment, and Darcey became a walking, talking headline. But now, she says she's done chasing the plastic doll aesthetic. According to a new interview with Parade, Darcey's taking a sharp turn. She's calling it a make-under, a deliberate step toward a softer, more natural look. Her words, she wants to feel inspirational and aspirational without going under the knife every few months. One of the biggest changes, she's planning to reduce her breast size. Darcey admitted her implants are weighing her down, literally. She pointed out how her petite frame makes the oversized look uncomfortable and even causes back pain. She confessed she's finally ready to scale back, hoping the smaller size will give her body a more balanced, natural shape. Of course, this isn't her first time walking this road. Remember Bulgaria? She once suffered a wardrobe malfunction mid-flight when a catsuit-style dress split open at the bust. And despite Georgie, her on-again, off-again love interest, begging her to slow down on surgeries, Darcey powered forward with yet another boob job, bigger than the last. Fans are already skeptical that this make-under will really stick. Darcey's twin sister Stacy is also along for the ride. The pair recently went to Turkey for cosmetic tweaks like a brow lift and fox eye lift. Fans joked on Instagram that the Silva twins had a frequent flyer program at overseas surgery clinics. But now, Darcey insists this chapter will be different, less glam, more grounded.
She told Parade that self-image has always been her struggle, but this time she's determined to stop masking her insecurities with surgeries. Quote, I want to embrace simplicity. I want to love myself without needing to change everything. Naturally, the fan base is divided. Some applaud the move, saying it's about time Darcey put her health above appearances. Others flat out don't believe her. One fan wrote, Darcey saying she's done with surgery is like Big Ed saying he's done with drama. Never happening. Another chimed in, I hope it's real, but TLC without a Silva makeover storyline? Impossible. There's also chatter that this could be a clever rebrand. Darcey dropping the extreme glam persona in favor of something more relatable as she enters her 50s. Some even speculate it's part of a new storyline pitch for her and Stacey, giving fans a fresh angle after years of surgery-focused drama. Whether it's genuine or just good TV, one thing's clear. People will be watching.
Stick around, because just when you think we've reached peak drama, Chantel Everett is firing back hard. From Carlo's cruel texts to jaw-dropping revelations about Tiffany and Elise, this clapback is pure tell-all gold. Okay, here's how it all went down. During the 90-day Fiance tell-all, Carlo's private text came to light. Messages where he trashed Tiffany and Elise, calling them names like fat and ugly, and mocking who they could take home to their families. It was mean-spirited, it was petty, and it cut deep, especially since both women once thought highly of him. Chantel Everett, never one to stay silent, jumped in to defend her girls. She told producers and fans that what Carlo said wasn't just cruel, it was a betrayal of trust. Tiffany and Elise, she reminded everyone, actually spoke of Carlo with admiration. They were ready to bring him into their family circles, and now they're blindsided by his cheap digs. But Chantel didn't stop there. She exposed the messy love triangle brewing behind the scenes, Carlo hanging out with Tiffany while secretly dating Elise. Fans said their jaws hit the floor when Chantel revealed she herself was shocked to learn Carlo and Elise were an item. For weeks, she'd only seen him around Tiffany, and the sudden switch-up made zero sense. According to Chantel, it all came crashing down when Carlo's text leaked. She described being floored reading his words and explained how deeply it hurt not just Tiffany and Elise, but Cole too. That's right, Carlo allegedly trash-talked Cole even though the two were supposed to be close friends. Chantel painted the picture of Cole crying in Carlo's arms, oblivious to the fact that Carlo was dragging him behind his back. Ouch. The conversation spiraled quickly, with Chantel making it clear she wasn't going to let Carlo skate by. She framed his behavior as cruel, not just thoughtless banter. Fans watching live praised her for holding him accountable, with one writing on Twitter, Chantel always speaks the truth even if it burns bridges. Another said Carlo just got owned on national TV. And honestly, Chantel came across as both protective and brutally honest. She didn't sugarcoat, but she also didn't sink to Carlo's level with name-calling. Instead, she laid out the facts, defended her girls, and left Carlo looking like the villain of the hour. As if that wasn't enough, she gave Access Hollywood an interview afterward, doubling down on her statements. She said the texts were beyond hurtful, adding that Tiffany and Elise deserved way better. She even admitted she felt secondhand heartbreak for Cole, who she believes took the betrayal the hardest. Reddit threads lit up instantly. Some fans think Chantel's reaction proves she's positioning herself as the voice of reason in the franchise. Others speculate she might be setting herself up for another spinoff. After all, Chantel plus chaos equals ratings gold. Either way, her clapback cemented her as the tell-all MVP. And just when you think we're done, hold up, because Sophie Sierra is stirring the pot next. She's finally speaking out about her love life, and the whispers are pointing straight to Pedro Jimeno. Yep, Chantel's ex. Let's get into it. Sophie Sierra, who walked away from her relationship with Rob Warren on Hunt for Love, has had fans glued to her every move ever since. Between Rob's steamy night with Jennifer Tarazona and Sophie's awkward tell-all appearances, viewers were convinced she was single and done with the mess. But nope, Sophie just flipped the script. In a candid social media post, she admitted she's catching feelings again. Her words,
I forgot how vulnerable it is to like someone. She explained that it had been so long since she felt butterflies, she almost forgot what it was like. She even described it as both exciting and scary, a love-hate tug-of-war with her emotions. But here's where things get juicy. Sophie didn't name her new man, which only added fuel to the speculation fire. Rob Warren himself fanned the flames when he claimed Sophie's been talking to none other than Pedro Jimeno, a.k.a. Chantel Everett's ex-husband and one of the most polarizing figures in the franchise. According to Rob, Sophie and Pedro have been spotted together and may have even celebrated Valentine's Day side by side. Fans pointed out disguised photos posted around the same time showing similar backgrounds and subtle clues. Side-by-side screenshots are already circulating online with captions like, "Is this Sophie and Pedro soft launching their romance?" And you better believe Chantel's name is being dragged into this. The thought of Sophie, who's crossed paths with Chantel before, getting cozy with Pedro, has fans predicting another messy triangle. Some are calling it the reboot nobody asked for, while others say it's genius casting if TLC is planning future crossover episodes. Meanwhile, Sophie herself is leaning into the mystery. She admitted love is terrifying, but she's willing to give it a chance again. She didn't deny the Pedro rumors directly. She simply said she's enjoying where life is taking her, which, in reality TV speak, usually means the rumors are at least half true. Reddit threads exploded, with one fan writing, "Sophie and Pedro, that's like mixing oil and gasoline. Get the cameras rolling." Another joked, "If Chantel thought Carlo's texts were cruel, wait until she sees Sophie pop up at Pedro's side." The optics are messy, the timing is suspicious, and the fan theories are endless. Whether Sophie is trolling the audience or genuinely falling for Pedro, the storyline potential is pure dynamite. TLC couldn't script it better if they tried. So, are we really about to witness Sophie Sierra and Pedro Jimeno as reality TV's newest couple? Or is this just a PR stunt to keep their names trending? Fans are already placing bets in the comments. If you love today's tea, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a drop. Share your wildest takes in the comments. We'll be reading. And don't forget to follow us across socials for even more behind-the-scenes buzz. And tomorrow, you'll want to be here because we've got a scandal that flips the entire franchise upside down. Trust me, you won't see this one coming. This is Paper Highlighter, where the drama is always brighter. Stay fabulous, Fame fam.